Let's say I gave you a number to memorize, like the number 1776. How would you remember it? Well, you could probably implement what we discussed in earlier videos in this course. You might apply the principle of repetition by simply repeating 1776 to yourself. But this number is simple to memorize. It's only 4 digits. What if I gave you a 10-digit number to memorize, like 3,128,574,747? Now let's say I gave you another number like 312-857-4747. Which number is easier to remember? I think most people would agree the second number is easier to remember. Why? Because it looks like a phone number, and it's broken up into parts. Now if you haven't noticed, these 10-digit numbers are exactly the same. They're just formatted differently. One is a number in the billions, which at first appears difficult to memorize, while the other is a phone number and seems easier to memorize. Why is this? Because of a memory principle we're introducing here called chunking. Chunking information always makes it easier to remember. Sometimes we chunk information without really realizing it. If you had to get 9 items from the grocery store, what would be easier to remember? A mixed-up grocery list of 9 items? Or items that are categorized or chunked into 3 areas of the store? Look at the 2 options you have. Notice how chunking makes things more manageable for your memory. Now let's do a little exercise here. I want you to try and memorize the chunked 9-item list on your screen. In a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause the video so that you can focus on repeating the 3 items under each of the 3 categories. Start with produce and repeat to yourself tomatoes, cucumbers, strawberries. Tomatoes, cucumbers, strawberries. Do this several times. Then move on to deli and repeat turkey, ham, salami several times. And then move on to dairy and repeat to yourself milk, yogurt, eggs. Milk, yogurt, eggs. Are you ready? Go ahead and pause the video right now and repeat the list to yourself in the manner that we just discussed. When you're done, unpause the video. Okay, I'm assuming you've repeated the list to yourself a number of times. Now I want you to do one last bit of repetition. Repeat the following. Produce, deli, dairy. Produce, deli, dairy. Produce, deli, dairy. If you want, you can pause the video if you need additional repetitions. Now, do you remember the list? Go ahead and pause the video right now if you want to quiz yourself. I think you'll be surprised at how much easier the list is to remember when it's chunked into parts. And guess what? This list would be even easier if you were actually going to the store, because you'd be reminded of produce, deli, and dairy just by setting foot in the store and seeing those areas. The main takeaway of this video is to show you how the memory principle of chunking allows you to organize information and makes it easier to retrieve later on. If you were able to memorize the 9-item list, great job.